Hey guys, welcome in. I hope you all are doing all right. My name is Brianna, and this is going to be another general collective message. This message, or the messages that come through this reading, are not time specific. However, I will be using some of the current astrology to help guide me through this reading. So, I've pulled some cards, and I will continue to pull cards throughout this video just to get more clarity on the message that's already on the table. But we do have a message on the table, and the message is a message of breakthrough, right? The collective is either breaking through or has broken through into a new cycle, a new chapter. This breakthrough could be occurring now, right, in real time, or it's something that's coming up in the future, or it's a breakthrough that you've already moved through, right? On the other side of this breakthrough, there is a new cycle. It's like a rebirth. It's a level up. I'm getting like reincarnation energy, or like respawning into the game on a new level, right? So this path, this new cycle, this new level that you're either in or moving towards, it's a path, a cycle, a level that is closely aligned with your star energy, and your star energy is your purpose, right? The direction that your higher self wants you to move towards. So we have the Page of Pentacles, right? The Page of Pentacles is indicating a brand new cycle, a new path to invest your time, your energy, your resources into. The Page of Pentacles is also a card of discovery. So if you haven't already discovered this new path, like if you're still moving through this process of breakthrough, within this process, the unknown, or this unknown path, will become known. Right? So you've either already discovered this path or you're in the process. So upon this path, I always like to say that there's always going to be challenges and obstacles and opposition, right? We don't just get to start the race, run the race, and win the race, right? Then it would be too easy. And we're here to learn through experience, right? So upon this path, this new path, there are challenges, obstacles, and opposition. And I want to say that although these challenges, obstacles, and opposition may be manifesting as external experiences, people who are coming up against you, yada, 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 the ultimate challenge is going to be mastering our emotional energies and mastering our reactions and responses to external stresses or external stressors, right? Because at the end of the day, our energy, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of us, our internal energy, our frequency, right? The energy that we radiate outwards, that's the energy that the universe communicates with, right? That's the energy that draws in, attracts, magnetizes our outcomes and manifestations. So if there's someone outside of you triggering, we have the Three of Swords here. If there's someone outside of you triggering or manipulating your emotions, and you react to that in a certain way, if you get drawn into that in a certain way, then that person has won, right? So the real challenge is the King of Cups, or the real challenge is embodying the energy of the King of Cups, right? The King of Cups is the master over the emotional subconscious, right? He's highly aware of what comes in and what goes out in terms of his emotions, right? His responsibility is maintaining a sense of calmness, order, and balance over the emotional realm. So there are some challenges that we have to overcome on this path, and the challenges are going to be mostly emotional, right? Okay, so this brings me to some of the current astrology, and I have my notes here. So we have the sun in Cancer and a 0-degree trine to the moon in Scorpio, right? So 0 degrees is going to be like the tightest alignment between planets or energetic bodies, right? So the sun in Cancer and a 0-degree trine to the moon in Scorpio, and I feel like this is a harmonious aspect. However, we want to be mindful of the moon in Scorpio, right? The moon in Scorpio can bring up lots of intense emotions, right? Intense emotional energies. The moon, we have Scorpio here, right behind the 3 of Swords. So Scorpio in the tarot is represented by the Death card, but Scorpio in esoteric astrology, Scorpio is a water sign that's ruled by Pluto, right? And Pluto is the lord of the underworld. So Scorpio's energy is going to be like the water that runs through the underworld. So it's like the emotional current of our subconscious, right? So these are going to be like deep emotions, and a lot of times these emotions can be triggering. 3 of Swords, intense. I'm also getting like the 5 of Cups. Let me see where that card is. The 5 of Cups. Sorry, the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups, it's another Scorpio card, right? The 5 of Cups is with the Queen of Cups. The 5 of Cups is intense emotion. It's uncomfortable emotions like pain, grief, depression, trauma, and sadness. The Queen of Cups is going to be like the processing and regulating of those emotions, right? So the moon in Scorpio is the challenge. So the moon in Scorpio is the challenge, right? Navigating these intense emotions. The solution is going to be the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is the queen of discernment, right? She's graceful movement under pressure. She moves gracefully under pressure. She's skillful navigation. The Queen of Swords isn't all air, right? She isn't just an air sign. She's air and water. So she maintains the balance between the heart, the water, the emotions, and the mind, right? Which is like the logic and intelligence. So she's able to discern and perceive with precision. She's razor sharp, right? She has crystal clear sight, and she's able to solve problems. She's the problem solver. She's the queen of solutions because she can see, she can discern, and then she moves gracefully. So the solution is graceful movement under pressure. I'm gonna get some more cards just to clarify or get more advice on how we can move more gracefully through this or on this path to purpose and prophecy, right? So if the moon in Scorpio is the challenge, then the Queen of Swords is the solution. And the way that the cards are set up, we have the King of Cups. Remember, the master of the emotional realm. He's at the end. He's at the end of this row here. So that's going to be the end goal. The Queen of Swords is towards the beginning. And in the middle, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which talks about sowing seeds, doing the work, preparing for your harvest, pouring life into your work, working on prosperity, but also working on your frequency, right? Working on ascending and elevating your frequency. And then right after that, we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups talks about purified emotions, moving forward with purified emotions. So there's a process of discernment, skillful navigation, putting an effort to raise your frequency, improve your energy so that you have this clean cup to move forward with, right? Moving forward with a clear cup, a clean cup. And this clean cup is also important when it comes to manifesting or aligning with our intentions, right? Our intentions are pure. Most likely, they are the intentions of our higher selves, right? And in order to attract these pure intentions, we have to, or we want to, radiate or project a pure frequency, right? I feel like that's what this energy is about here. Moving, it's like in it to heal it. Like you have to feel the pain before the pain melts away. So it's like, if you are still in the process of navigating these emotional triggers, right? Breaking through old cycles, breaking through like painful cycles, then something about wounds have to be felt before they can be resolved or dissolved. So there's a process of feeling, healing, purifying, and then moving forward. We have the sun in Cancer making a trine to the moon in Scorpio. So the Cancer sun, when the sun is in Cancer, we are encouraged to embody the truth of what we need to feel fulfilled, right? The comfort, the support, the love we need to feel fulfilled. The sun in esoteric astrology represents like the integrated personality and the ideal self. So when the sun is in Cancer, Cancer themes are highlighted, right? So this goes back to the process of purification, purifying the cup, the vessel, purifying the vessel of any, I want to say emotional triggers, emotional densities, purifying the vessel, releasing emotional densities so that we can, I want to say, align with the North Node, the star energy. The North Node in Pisces is also currently in a trine to the sun in Cancer and the moon in Scorpio. So the North Node, again, is going to be our star energy. We have the stars here, right? So it's about clarity, direction. It's perfect alignment, right? It's fulfillment of a divine promise, either the promise that you made to yourself or a promise that has been made to you, right? It's materialization and actualization. Yes, the star talks about wishes coming true, but esoterically, the star represents you as the wish, right? You are the wish that comes true. It's self-actualization. So it's like moving through this process of ascension and then finally becoming your highest and best self, right? Self-actualization, and that frequency, the frequency of your authentic self is what automatically draws in your inheritances, right? Your rewards. So I picked up this star card, and right before that, or right after that, right behind that, we have the brief illness card. Brief illness. This is like being sick. It's like dis-ease, energetic misalignment, unhealthy situation, impure frequency. Something is up, not all is well, right? So this card is behind the star card. So it's like moving through this process to get here, right? Into this star energy. And right before that, or right after that, is the crossroads. So it's like a choice, or crossroads could be discernment, using discernment to make the right choice. Which way, this way or that way? That's the Queen of Swords energy. The choice is about this brief illness, this dis-ease. The dis-ease is feeling like this energy here. Moon in Scorpio. Making the right choice leads to star energy. I want to see where the star is in the tarot real quick. The star. This is how the cards came out. Let's see. It's like a story, right? The 10 of Wands. This is burden. This is like a lot of hard work to clear the path. Doing the work to clear the path. The path that leads to star energy. Highest potential. Your highest potential. Fulfillment of divine contracts. But before your divine contract can be fulfilled, we have to get there first, right? And then right behind that is the 9 of Cups, which talks about transcendence and emotional maturity. And then we have Justice. This is for you. This is your reward. Because you've cultivated this balance, right? You've aligned with this truth. This is your reward. Okay, yeah, so we have the North Node of Fate in Pisces, making a trine to the Sun in Cancer, and the Moon in Scorpio. So a trine is a harmonious aspect, right? It's like seamless communication between two energetic bodies. So there is data being communicated or delivered to the North Node. And these energies, these energetic forces, they communicate via, or they communicate through frequency, right? So our personal frequency, let's see, which is going to be like our emotions. It's the emotions that radiate outward, right? That essence is then picked up and transmitted to the fates, right? And the fates are in turn weaving destiny, weaving a destiny that corresponds to our frequency. That's why it's so important, especially in this energy, for us to discern, navigate gracefully, stay calm under pressure, and practice King of Cups energy, which is mastery over the emotional subconscious, maintaining emotional calmness, balance, order, regulation. The King of Cups is a king, right? So he's a masculine energy, and this is like an action-oriented energy. The Queen of Swords, she is downloaded the solutions, right? And she gives those solutions to the King of Cups, and then he takes external action, right? So this is like actually doing the work to regulate your emotions, getting rid of old narratives, old energies. It's like upheaval, and making sure that the frequency of your emotions are pure and in alignment with what it is that you want to see manifest, right? Now, this process of skillful navigation, graceful movement under pressure, regulating and processing your emotions, it may require stillness, right? Stillness, because there's a lot going on energetically. I haven't even gotten to Chiron, our soul's deepest wound, right? Chiron is making a lot of squares. Chiron is actually in opposition to the moon in Scorpio. So stillness is required because there's a lot going on energetically. And this energy, this conflicting, opposing, challenging energy may be manifesting in your material surroundings, environment, like your everyday life. And when there's a lot going on, it's like a snow globe. I don't want to do that motion, but it's like a snow globe. When you shake it vigorously, there's a lot of just chaos, right? So when you practice stillness, then it's like you're removed from the chaos. You can witness the chaos, and then you have this advantage of seeing, discerning, judging clearly, right? And making right choices, or finding the solutions, or finding like these little pathways out of the chaos. But if you are not still, right? If you're moving too much, doing too much, thinking too much, it just throws your energy into the snow globe, and you become a part, or you get swept away in the chaos. So there may be a need to like pause, exercise stillness, meditation, calm your mind, let your emotions settle so that you can see clearly, feel clearly, think clearly, and make clear choices, right? Okay, let's move on. So I'm going to use this deck to just pull a few more cards to see if there are any additional messages that want to come out. What do we have from this deck? Anything else we need to know? Most important messages, please. No illusion, confusion, or delusion. Show me clearly and concisely. Most important messages for the collective in this energy. We've got the sun and the moon. Expectation. Mediator. Okay. We've got the sun and the moon. The sun is our life force energy. It's our identity. It's our outward expression, right? In this deck, the sun talks about optimism, luck, success, and accomplishment. The moon is our emotional realm or our subconscious realm. And one of my decks, the moon talks about deep emotional healing. But in this deck, the moon talks about being the brightest light in the dark. The brightest light in the dark. The moon in this deck is like star energy. What I'm getting from this, because we also have mediator. The mediators come in when things need to be settled, balanced out, where things need to be put right. It's like moderation and delegation. And then we had the parlor. The parlor talks about intimacy, like internal. So the message is just like confirming what we've been talking about, balancing the sun and the moon. Balancing your internal energies. Down here we have there's a message here about the stork. The stork is the archetype that delivers new babies, new beginnings, new blessings, right? But if you look at how these cards have come out, the stork is just waiting and watching this man or this character in deep thought. This character is in deep thought, and the stork is just waiting and watching, waiting and watching, waiting and watching. So there's some sort of blessing, new beginning. It's ready. Right after that, we have the scythe and the clouds. The clouds talk about chaos in the mind, chaos in the heavens, right? Trouble, confusion, projection. So this could be like murky energy. Murky energy could be this energy here. It's the energy that you are projecting, right? The energy that you are projecting it may be a bit murky, distorted. The energy is also pointing to, you see this siren, right? Siren. It's like a spiritual guide pointing to this marriage. There are a few marriage cards in the deck, but this one represents romance, right? Romantic partnerships. So there may be some confusion about collaborating with someone, chaos in the heavens, distortion in the mind. There's something waiting on you. The stork is waiting to deliver something to you or, bring you something. And I feel like there's some sort of balance that needs to occur in order for this thing to reach you. Let's see. What needs to be balanced out? Can we be more specific? What should the collective focus on balancing out in order to align themselves align themselves with whatever the stork wants to deliver. So we have nothing is ever as it seems, revelation and illumination. Something that you can't see. There's a spiritual fog. That could be what this is, right? Spiritual fog. You can't see. So you have to rely on blind faith. We have sacral chakra energy, emotional stability. Emotional stability. Establishing a healthy connection with self and others. And then we have the fifth house of Leo. The fifth house is like the stage where we stand and project our sun energy, right? Our Leo energy. So there's a message here about spiritual fog. You may not be able to see it, but with the sacral chakra here, you can feel it, you can sense it, and it's like following that sensation. This could also be about expressing your emotions. This could be a message of like bottled up emotions. Nothing is ever as it seems. So this could be a message of revealing your emotions, the grand stage, expressing what you feel. This could also be, okay, so there are a couple of things here. Because we have this marriage card, right? This contract. This is a contract for union. Because we have this card, there could be a message of like emotional confusion. Maybe you've got your emotions bottled up, right? The sacral chakra is here, but I'm also getting like a blocked heart chakra or a closed heart chakra. So the solution could be as simple as telling someone how you feel, expressing yourself playfully, expressing your feelings playfully. That could be the solution to clearing up this emotional fog, right? This could also be a message about, because we have Chiron in Aries. Chiron just left Aries, but Chiron in Aries was a process of uncovering and integrating our true identity, right? Who are you underneath the wounds and programming? So this could be a message of, like we've been talking about, balancing out or alchemizing wounds, alchemizing emotional wounds, so that your true self, your true feelings, your true frequencies can be expressed on the world stage, right? The fifth house, I talked about it being the grand stage where you stand and express yourself playfully, but it's also the stage where the ancestors watch, right? The higher ups watch you play out your character. And it's also the stage where the universe identifies you, right? The universe picks up your frequency. So clear emotional expression is going to get this stork moving, right? Right now, the stork is just sitting and watching you. The Tower, the Ten of Wands. Okay, so the Tower is like purification through fire. We talked about how you have to, or how we have to move through wounds, right? Move through uncomfortable emotional energies before those emotional energies can melt. So it's like purification through fire, which is also like that Five of Cups energy. Moving through painful discomfort, uncomfortable emotions so that the smaller self or the wounded self is, I don't want to say destroyed, but uplifted, ascended. The Ten of Wands, change in seasons. One season must pass before a new season can begin, and that's probably why the stork is just waiting, right? And we also have the Six of Cups, which talks about emotional regeneration, revival, and renewal after the Five of Cups. So we're making our way through this process of purification, right? Through this process of alchemizing and balancing, purifying our cup, our emotions, purifying our emotions so that we can align ourselves with regeneration, revival. The Six of Cups is like a purified frequency. And we've been talking about how a pure frequency is needed to attract and align with the star energy, right? Our highest potential, fulfillment of a divine contract. This divine contract may have something to do with a connection. Let's get more about the contract, the divine contract. Which deck should I use? Let's use this one. I don't know if this is the right one, but let's just see what comes out. Okay, Spirit, tell me more about this divine contract, this marriage energy. What's that all about? One more. These cards are so thick. Okay. To clarify the marriage card, we have action. Action. Action is Mars and Pluto. Mars and Pluto. So this card talks about... Okay, so two things. If this marriage, right, if this union isn't between you and another and it's just you and yourself, right, your masculine and your feminine principles coming together in harmony, then this action card talks about, because it's Mars and Pluto, it talks about that deep subconscious work. It's like moving, moving powerfully through Plutonic energy to, I want to say, facilitate, cultivate, like deep transformation. This could be transforming the emotional subconscious, restoring balance, harmony. Action is a number 21, which breaks down to a 3, and it's giving me like the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups talks about, it's Mercury in Cancer, so it talks about pure communication, emotional harmony that radiates outward, right? So it's like establishing some sort of emotional harmony, taking action. The other thing is that this could be like taking action towards a lever and using some sort of foresight. Foresight is the next card that came out. Foresight. So using your instincts, intuition. It's Uranus and Venus. Venus is the heart. Foresight, using It's like learning to think with your heart, learning to lead with your heart. That's the foresight. And this action is going to create Uranus. Uranus is the Fool in the tarot, so it talks about big material change, yes, but it's also a new beginning, a brand new beginning, a fresh start. That's that stork energy, right? Where's the Fool? Where is the Fool? Okay, there he is. The Fool is with the Chariot and the Page of Swords. The Fool is with the Chariot and the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords talks about grounding in a new truth, right? Grounding in your spiritual truth. And the Fool leading with that, moving with that. The Chariot making power moves, destroying limitations. So whatever this internal action is, the action card is telling me, especially with this marriage card here, the action card is telling me that there has to be a sense of internal harmony and balance, and you may have to like power through Plutonic energy, power through Scorpionic energy. Could be the waters, the emotions of Scorpio. We do have the moon in Scorpio. Power through, reestablish this harmony and balance. Use your heart. Let your heart guide you. It's like letting your heart lead the way. Your heart. Or it could be like letting pure emotion lead the way. Letting your emotions lead the way. It's going to create it's like a power play. A power play. Creates a powerful new beginning. Mars and Cancer is the Chariot, purified by fire. You've been purified, and now you're moving forward powerfully. That still doesn't tell me much about this marriage card. Let's see if we can use another deck to get more about the marriage card. I wonder if the marriage is between you and another or between you and you. Tell me more about the marriage card. I've got butterfly, a dramatic change. Okay, this could be you. Or it could be you preparing for some sort of marriage. Okay, it says butterfly represents the process of transcending the ego to embrace a deeper sense of truth and self-awareness. Someone is undergoing a complete metamorphosis, whether in appearance, character, or circumstance. This is like transformation, awakening, evolution, upheaval, rebirth. So this could be you coming into alignment with yourself, maybe in preparation for some sort of marriage union. We've got otter, playful energy. Playful energy is also giving the fifth house, your playful expression, and it's also giving this sacral chakra energy. your creativity. It seems like the collective is undergoing a transformation, right? Evolving, breaking through. We talked about that towards the beginning. They're becoming this more playful version of self, true, authentic version of self. Otter energy is like, it's like childlike fun, right? And it's when we embody this energy, we create an opening for the innocence, the purity of our soul or our inner child to be expressed outwardly. So we're going through this dramatic change, transformation, evolution, breakthrough. And what's on the other side is this purified frequency, this playful frequency. There was a message that came through yesterday about trying to manifest love and emotional fulfillment with a closed heart chakra. It can't happen because we have to be an energetic match for that which we want to attract and align with, right? So this is like Spirit is helping us open up, break open, create this pathway so that this playful energy, this otter energy the frequency of this energy can be picked up by the universe. Maybe we've been working too much, right? Why so serious? That's what this card says. Why so serious? Maybe we've been really serious. We've kind of had to be. The Queen of Swords is very serious. She don't take no shit, right? We've kind of had to be serious, but maybe we're moving into, okay, that kind of gives here, right? Let me see if I can get all of these. Get off me. Okay, so it's like moving from a sense of like super seriousness into this more charming energy, lighthearted energy. That could be it, right? This lighthearted energy expressing this lighthearted energy is going to open the pathway for manifestations to pour in. I feel like this seriousness, right? This sense of seriousness is creating a shield around our frequency. It's like tight, locked up. And that's why the stork is just watching and waiting, because this guy is so serious. I feel like a blessing, right? That stork energy, the blessing, the baby, the newness will be delivered once this opening is created, or once we can there are like two stories going on here, because this story ends with emotional mastery, right? Emotional mastery, King of Cups. You did it. You're in this seat, right? And then the story continues and ends with this dramatic change, otter energy. The King of Cups is also very, like, is he playful? He's compassionate, that's for sure, but he's very open, vulnerable with his emotions. I feel this is like shattering a shield of seriousness, allowing this inner child happiness, playfulness, vulnerability to come out, the frequency of that. We have divine inspiration, fire energy, but I'm getting more of like passion, creativity, rawness, raw energy. Is your raw energy playful? Could be. It's childlike, but whatever the case, it's going to lead to some sort of. We've got money tree here, which is the 10 of Pentacles, financial growth, prosperity. It's a harvest. It's your payout. It's your whatever the stork has for you. We've got movement, forward movement, exposure, hidden secrets, tornado, storm warning, strength, personal power, red flag, watch carefully, compassion, salt bath, mass. Okay, just be mindful. I feel like, okay, so if this process, this dramatic change, if there's resistance, right? If there's resistance, then your higher self will, to get things moving, right? Because right now we're just sitting here. Divine timing is waiting on you. And I feel like in order to get things moving, if there's resistance and stagnation, then your higher self will shake you. Shake, like, let's go. And that shake may look like a tower, a storm. It's like upheaval. It's a storm that exposes what you actually want, right? And this could manifest as like showing you what you don't want. This could manifest as an experience that isn't aligned with what you want. This experience may be uncomfortable, but it's going to expose what you actually want. Because when we are in these uncomfortable experiences that we don't want, we're automatically redirected. Like, no, this is what I actually want, right? So if there's resistance to get things moving, your higher self or the universe, your spirit guides, your team might throw in some sort of tornado. It says the tornado is the forceful hand of the divine, compelling us to face the harsh reality of a situation. As the tornado whirls through our experience, it exposes the cracks and vulnerabilities in our foundations, and it breaks down the unsustainable connections, behaviors, and patterns that we have ignored or neglected for far too long. Red flag, watch carefully. So just be mindful, right? You want to try to like move in alignment with this flow, right? Move through this process. May require stillness, right? So that you can work on elevating your frequency and reaching this position of lightheartedness, openness, because we have to be open in order to receive. We have to be open. Our energy, our frequency has to be open in order to receive. If it's closed off, if it's tight, sealed up due to like these energies, wanting to protect ourselves from these energies, then whatever's trying to get through to us, it'll just watch and wait. And perhaps a window of opportunity will close. Your higher self, your guides, your team, not wanting you to miss this opportunity, may throw in some sort of tornado, right? A storm that gets you to see, watch carefully, what it is that you actually want. Or finally, we've got salt bath. I don't know if you guys can see this. We got salt bath and compassion. So it's like purifying, washing away what is hidden. And what's hidden is your compassion, your sacral energy, your emotions. Maybe your emotions are bottled up. Compassion, I feel like tenderness. Okay. Compassion is tenderness and sympathy. It's vulnerability. It's honest expression. And then we have mask. So I feel like this compassion, this compassionate side of you is hidden. So, you guys, this could be already happening, right? Maybe it's not a well, it says storm warning here. Just be mindful, right? There may be some experiences that you don't want coming in to kind of like shake you up, just to get you on the right path. I hear like snickering, like like trickster energies. Some of you may have trickster energies on your team, your spirit team. They're not low vibrational. They are who they are, right? And they have a purpose. Okay, I'm just going to do one final message and then we will get out of here. Okay, what's the final message for the collective, Spirit? What do we need to know? Final message for the collective. Let's close this thing out. The card at the bottom of the deck is Unresolved Past. Unresolved Past. The Restless Dead. A number 53, which breaks down to an 8, which is giving me like a repeating cycle, a repetitive cycle. We have Initiation. That's a pretty cool looking card. Initiation into whatever this may be for you. Beyond these gates, right? There's something that resonates deeply with your soul. It could be anything, right? The sun is in Cancer right now, so it may be something Cancer related. Home, foundation, roots, emotional fulfillment, nourishment, support, right? Whatever it is for you, it's on the other side of these gates, right? This process of initiation requires us to resolve the past. We also have rising power, raising power. So raising your, this is like sacral chakra, solar plexus energy. So it's like, we also have like some throat chakra energy here. So it's like raising your strength, your personal power in order to push through an obstacle, resist temptation, do what needs to be done, and reach your goals. Raising power, that's going to get you through this gate and move you out of this repetitive karmic cycle, right? Okay, hold on. So, the repetitive karmic cycle, remember how we talked about how spirit might like send some tornado energy at you, and it's like an experience that you don't necessarily want. I feel like it's more of this restless, it's more of the unresolved past energy, right? So, if we are resistant to this process, this change, then there's going to be a repeat, right? And it's not good or bad, right? It's not a good or a bad thing. It just is what it is. Maybe our soul or our self needs another cycle within whatever this past issue is in order for us to see, like, okay, like, I've had enough. This isn't what I want. What do I have to do to align with what it is that I actually want? The answer is raise your voice. Raise your voice. Use your voice. Playful expression, honest expression. Express yourself authentically. Express your desires. If your emotions are bottled up, release them. Playful energy. Butterfly energy. Move through the process. Allow yourself to move through the process of seriousness, or from seriousness to like otter energy, playful energy. That's going to open you up to whatever's on the other side of these gates, right? Initiation. You're moving through a process of initiation. It's not easy. It's not easy. That's why so few people choose this path, because it's hard, right? It's hard to address these issues, alchemize these issues, uplift, integrate these issues, and move into like this King of Cups energy where we're open and honest and vulnerable, but also in control of our emotions, right? There was something else that I wanted to say. I forgot what it was that I wanted to say. There's Moon, deep emotional healing. We have Dharma here. Dharma, the natural order of the universe, the right way. So, going back to this initiation, these gates, right? We may be passing through a gateway into our Dharma, out of karma into Dharma. This is karma, right? Unresolved past. So we may be passing through a gateway out of Dharma into, or out of karma into Dharma. And Dharma is it's when we embody a frequency, that star frequency, right? Our star frequency attracts everything naturally, right? So we don't have to do much work. We don't have to struggle. We don't have to scheme and plot for what we need. We don't have to fight. Everything that we need, our resources, the experiences that make us happy, they just come to us naturally because our frequency attracts it, right? The frequency of our star energy, or our authentic self, it attracts Dharma, right? This card talks about emotional fulfillment as well. So it's like moving through karma, embodying this frequency and attracting Dharma. And Dharma is everything. It's the Ten of Pentacles. Here's the Ten of Pentacles here. So you get everything. You get the family. You get the love. You get the wisdom. You get the legacy, right? You get the business. You are an ascended master. And it's the culmination of everything that you've accumulated throughout your journey. So the Ten of Pentacles is everything. So Dharma is going to include everything, but it comes naturally, right? The happiness, the joy, the fulfillment, the support, the love, the money, the resources, the stability, the skill, the expertise, the wisdom, all of it, the self, the sovereignty, right? All of it. All right, guys, that's all I have. We've got Rabbit, good luck, new beginnings, abundance, fertility, hope, intuition, sensitivity, adaptability. Rabbit. I feel like allegiance, you have support. You have support. You have yourself. You have the wisdom, the resources, the tools, the knowledge to move through this process. And you have like this good luck, right? This good fortune. Maybe this good fortune is on the other side of this portal, this new beginning, abundance and fertility. But I feel like you have everything you need to navigate this energy successfully, especially given the information that has come through in this reading, right? Remember that red flag energy. In order for us not to repeat a cycle, we want to make sure that we're moving in harmony with where our higher self wants us to go, right? This card here says everything in the universe, physical and invisible, is working in my favor. So that's more of that good luck, that support, allegiance, nature spirits may be working with you, the spirits of the natural realm, the ancient spirits of the natural realms. This could be like fairies. This could be like earth spirits, right? Working with you. News, noteworthy information to bring you some important details. Important details maybe about a false flame, an inauthentic connection. Be mindful that we're not repeating cycles with inauthentic people, or we're not trapping ourselves or damning ourselves to misaligned, unaligned cycles, experiences, unresolved paths, right? I feel like this is all about discovering your main character energy. Main character energy is going to be this energy here, right? Discovering and leading with your power. Purifying your energy so that you can align with truth, or align with whatever the universe has in store for you. I feel like I've been yapping, but it's been a while since I've been on here, so I just wanted to make sure that I give you guys like a thorough message. But that's all I have for this one, you guys. If you need to reach out to me for anything, you can use the contact form in my bio. Everything's in the bio, right? Through that link tree. If you have a question about what's going on in your personal life, or if you have a question about how to navigate certain energies, or if you just would just like a more thorough and detailed breakdown of this energy, right? More personal suggestions, solutions, guidance, then you can use that link in my bio to reach out to me. I am happy to help. That's actually what I do, right? So let me know, you guys. In the meantime, that's all I have, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.